one thing that I always enjoyed is like when I was back in my school days, there was one teacher who used to, allow students to have an open discussion,
Okay.
right? So even that was in my ninth standard or eighth standard. Like one student, you should come out in the front and talk about something that they saw something different and etc. So that was like really encouraging, and even though it was like really we were very overwhelmed during that time, we were like very surprised or very shocked and very nervous. But I feel that growing age, we kind of look back and see that this is what actually made us who we are today, right? So and these kind of practices do help students these days.
The trust building process might be a little slower on online platforms.
Correct.
Online platforms do democratize access to networking. So that way, anybody can be on a platform, DM somebody, create content, and show your authentic self out there. But to build trust over a period of time, that's where physical communities like VTalks
Yeah.
come into picture.
Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of WeChat. Today we have with us Ms. Nirmala Vaishalini, who's a BTech professional as well as an MBA graduate from NIT Calicut, and she did her MBA from IIM Rohtak. She's here with us because she has quite a large, extensive experience working as a developer as well as a business consultant. She's going to talk about networking communication and why these matters today, and how entrepreneurs and companies and businesses are looking these skill sets among young professionals, and how someone can excel in these communication and networking skill sets to achieve a big and a good career for them. So thank you for joining this podcast, Nirmala.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm sure that this conversation is going to be really interesting. And we have like, I have quite a lot of questions that I would like to ask you, and we would like to pick your brains on certain things. But before we go on to any of the main important questions, just let us know or tell us about your life and how communication and networking played a big important role in your NIT Calicut life as well as in IIM Rohtak. And tell us also about the difference between these two organizations, because for me these two are the big pillars of Indian education, right? And being a student from these two universities, in fact, is quite overwhelming for me, and it's like really exciting for me. So I'm really interested to know how communication, networking skills, as well as how they actually give it an importance for in these two universities. So let's hear it out.
Yeah, sure. I was a very shy person growing up in school,
Okay.
and I studied here in Vidyodaya. So I think almost till 8th standard I was very shy. But in between, my teachers used to encourage me to go up to the stage, do some comparing activities, and thought of the day to be presented during assembly. That's when I got an exposure to public speaking. That was
Okay.
the small girl in me giving speeches in front of a lot of people. But there was always nervousness inside me. But I'm very grateful to my teachers for putting me up on the stage over there. Then I gained a little bit of confidence, and when I went to NIT Calicut, the first 2 years, again, it was a new place right after school, staying away from parents. I was a very shy girl again. But you gain a lot of confidence from your past experiences, right? So that way, after 2 years in NIT Calicut, I actually started thinking to myself, maybe I should be a more outgoing person. I should grab more opportunities for public speaking, and also network more. That's when I consciously started putting in more effort beyond books to actually engage with people, be part of communities, clubs in the college, and yeah, during NIT Calicut also I got to speak to a lot of people from outside my state,
Mm.
outside my culture. So that gave me a lot of exposure as well.
Yeah.
And
And I think that'll be really interesting for you, right? Like growing up in a close knit society like Kerala, going to somewhere on the north, right? Like I am Rohtak, all the way there, and studying there, you would have met quite a lot of different cultural value and different kinds of professionals or different kinds of students over there, right?
yes. So even though NIT Calicut was a part of Kerala, but it was like a mini place inside Kerala, which is
Yeah,
not a part of Kerala.
got
And
it.
IIM Rohtak was a lot more different.
Yeah.
Like everything, the food you eat, the kind of language you speak, how it certain things are socially accepted, everything was completely new.
Mm.
My NIT experience did help me, but still, it took me some time to actually adjust to the social setting there.
Yeah.
But a lot of my assumptions were challenged.
Oh.
I grew as a person. I
Okay.
think earlier I used to have a more narrow perspective towards what was right, what was wrong. Now I understand the gray area better,
Okay.
how different people can have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And when you have different perspectives, I believe it helps you gain a lot of opportunities, because different perspective means your understanding changes.
Yeah.
When your understandings change, you have more skills that you
Correct.
acquire, and you challenge your assumptions, so you start seeing problems differently.
Mm.
So your solutions also emerge out differently,
Yeah.
and all of that lead to more opportunities.
Yeah. And see, I am Rohtak being like a MBA college, very closely, oriented. Career opportunity is something that they always look as a very big initiative, right? So what they used to have, which you felt like, whoa, you know what, this was really good, and this actually helped you in your career way forward, right?
I think it was the rigor of the academic
Okay,
process.
the rigorousness. Okay,
Yeah. So you are asked to read case studies.
got
One day,
it.
the next day you go to the class. You have to go prepared. There's no option of not doing it.
Okay,
You have to go prepared. You either sleep, you sacrifice your sleep, you sacrifice your social time. You just have to manage somehow. So I think what NITs or IIMs try to inculcate in students is that you have to do the right thing at the right time, and it has to be correct.
mm,
So when you keep doing this for 4 years during your BTech and 2 years during your MBA, at the workplace also you're just an extension of what you've done
what
in
you've
your
done in the
past.
past. Got it. So it's more to do with your practical living set of, or practicing, your real academics, well, through seminars or speaking, etc., rather than actually going through and studying and passing the exams, right?
Yes.
And I believe that down south we don't have that kind of a culture. Do you resonate with me, or do you have different thoughts with the same?
Yeah, I think we've not yet reached um that sort of a culture. We
Yeah.
are trying, like we try to bring in case studies, the different methodologies to study, but I think the rigor is still not yet
Still
there.
not yet. Because when I interact with quite a lot of students, one thing that I always feel is that, uh, we are very much in bookish level. If I tell about one real situation that has happened in a company, in my classroom, they are not very much keen to know more about it. But when I go and tell them in the north side, they are very more interested. So I feel that as a community from here, or as an education system, local schools and local colleges can do impart these practices, right? Like having kind of an open discussion about certain seminars and things like that. And one thing that I always enjoyed is, like, when I was back in my school days, there was one teacher who used to, allow students to have an open discussion,
Okay.
right? So even that was in my ninth standard or eighth standard. Like, one student should come out in the front and talk about something that, they saw something different and etc. So that was like really encouraging. And even though it was like really, we were very overwhelmed during that time, we were like very surprised or very shocked and very nervous. But I feel that growing age, we kind of look back, see that this is what actually made us who we are today, right? So and these kind of practices do help students these days, right?
Another point I would like to add is
Yeah.
during my MBA, I got to work in a lot of different teams,
Yeah.
projects, assignments. So that
Exactly.
actually transformed how I look at teamwork. Like
Correct.
you share your work with everybody. There's always going to be somebody who wants to free ride,
Yeah.
somebody who is extra hardworking,
Yeah.
somebody who always wants to sleep. So
Yeah.
you learn to deal with multiple
All
kinds of
kinds
people.
of people. That's like simple ways that the books cannot teach you.
Yes.
Right? All right. So let's get into the technical questions, right? So, and the first question that I have is like about networking in the digital age, right? How do you describe the biggest shift in networking from our parents' generation to the today's digital era? See, information is abundant. There's social media. There's a lot of other, uh, I would say, distracting things that's available with us. But that's also helping us, right? Like, I can get connected with someone who's in far east or far west and some other country. So how do you think that this digital era is actually changing the way we communicate?
Yeah, so like you rightly mentioned, nowadays we have access to social media and a lot of
Yes.
platforms to connect with people. Earlier, your circle is limited by your geography. So it's bound by where you are working, where you're living, or where you're studying. So if
Correct.
I'm born in Kochi, I interact only with
Correct.
Kochiites. I'm not able to, I wouldn't be able to connect with somebody outside Kochi. But now the lines have blurred with technology coming in. And right now we cannot actually blame that, oh, I do not have opportunities to network.
Yeah.
So you can blame yourself for not taking up the opportunities, but there are ample amount of opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Like somebody who is from Kochi today, they can connect with somebody in Singapore. They can produce a piece of content together.
Correct.
They can pitch to a startup in Dubai. They can even learn from global leaders.
Yeah.
So a global leader might have some online courses or some master classes, boot camps.
Correct.
So you can learn from others. You can reach out to them. You're always
Yeah.
just one DM away from any influential person.
Yeah, I mean that's like that's the easiest part right now, right? We are in the digital era where to connect with someone is actually quite easy. And I think what we have done together, right, building a community like VTalks, which is also from an inspiration from all these big schools and big B schools, right? Uh, why? How do you think that this digital communities, right, complement real world communities like VTalks in building meaningful networks?
Yeah, you can use digital communities like we discussed. You can use them to discover people.
Okay.
But how do you maintain a connection with them? How do you make them trust you?
Yeah.
The trust building process might be a little slower on online platforms.
Correct.
Online platforms do democratize access to networking. So that way, anybody can be on a platform, DM somebody, create content, and show your authentic self out there. But to build trust over a period of time, that's where physical communities like VTalks
Yeah.
come into picture.
And I also believe that people need people, right? It's not like we are connected through always a Zoom, right? Even when I'm connected through Zoom, I was excited to meet my boss who's coming from US all the way because I want to know like how what's his mannerism, what's how's the way he talks, what's the way he presents, what's his body language, because actually we can get inspired with all those things, right? Because communication is not just about speaking, it's also
Right.
about how you communicate through your body language or through your gestures, etc. And how do you present yourself, your personality itself is a way of communication, right? So I think physical communities like what we have built do help like a lot of people in, and as well as students, to enhance their skill sets, right? And that's what we are focusing on, right? I mean, like even though there is a digital era, I feel that there will be people who will be more interested to come into the physical forum and interact with people. They will be excited, is what I believe in.
You can reach people through by sending a DM or
Yeah.
discover them online. But if you have to convince them to buy your product or pitch
Correct.
something to them, then it's very difficult to do that online.
Correct.
So VTalks, a community like VTalks would give you the confidence to speak
Yeah.
to them, craft your story, and present it beautifully. to them.
Absolutely. Uh, See, any business or anything which these days is something what is very vital is personal branding. And I've seen that companies or startups have actually evolved through personal branding. Let's take an example of Shark Tank itself. Why do people go to Shark Tank? It's not just to pitch and to get a funding or investment. It's actually to market and brand themselves. There are like entrepreneurs who have like made huge money because of they are in a celebrity kind of a space, right? So why has personal branding become so important in this digital age of networking? Why do you think that people need that urge, or people need that space of starting a personal branding and improving their image, which can which they believe that can bring them more businesses in this current digital era?
Yeah, like you rightly mentioned, personal branding has become almost everything
Yeah.
right now. So a personal branding now is similar to a resume.
Okay.
We were running behind having the perfect resume, the perfect keywords. Now, whatever job a resume can do, a personal branding that you have can do much better.
Yeah.
So it's not just about your skills. It's not just about I know this technology, I can do this, I can do that. It's not just that. It's also about what problem are you trying to solve? What is your purpose? What is your voice? What is your opinion? What do you think? all of this has become important.
Important. I understand.
And your personal branding actually reflects that.
Hmm.
So, to put personal branding in simple terms, I would say, let's imagine a room where you are not present. Somebody brings up your name. Somebody says Prashant. So, what does everybody in the room think about?
Yes.
What comes to their mind? That would be your personal brand.
I understand. So, do you think that through personal branding, people actually trust the company itself or the product itself? Or do you think that personal branding is just a way of marketing?
It also builds trust. That's what I believe. Yes, it is marketing. It's also building trust. Marketing is also about building trust.
Yes.
It's about the long-term relationship with your
Got it.
customers, right? You
Got it.
deliver the value. You not just deliver it once. You consistently deliver so that
Yeah.
the trust is built. So personal branding is something not done just once,
Hmm.
or you can just establish a personal brand and forget about it.
Forget about it, yeah.
But even in V Talks, we stress that you build your personal branding over a period of time.
Correct.
And this continuous improvement also.
Yeah. And I feel that when they talk about these words called as personal branding, marketing, everybody thinks that it's only for business people or for owners. But even like someone like a working professional or even students can actually build their personal branding. Because when they go for an interview, the interviewer, all they want to know is like who you are. Because they cannot go and test your technical skills in a one hour interview or a half an hour interview, right? And I believe that these days personal interviews, one-to-one interviews are actually becoming more superior to testing your real world technical skills or practical, like we used to have, like where we have group discussions, or we used to have like something called as written exams, right, to select job selections, etc. But interviews have actually taken place quite significantly, and that have actually taken over quite significantly. So I believe that students should also use personal branding, right, like when they are sitting in front of an interviewer.
Yes. And that also your personal branding also reflects your values.
Correct.
So your core values, you can add on degrees to your resume, but your core values are going to be the same, almost the same. They're not going to
Absolutely.
change drastically.
No.
So a personal branding would reflect your core values, and nowadays organizations are interested in investing in authentic people.
Correct. Absolutely. I think we actually just a briefly touch based upon like as our community we talks how can it help creating a personal branding. Could you also like talk about like why do you think community has become such a powerful concept, right, in today's world, like especially for students and young professionals? Why do you think that they should join these communities? What's in it for them? What's going to be beneficial for them? Because I'm sure that it's going to help them in their personal branding. So could you please like give us an examples of how a community can help them shape their personal branding, and why do you think that they should join these?
Communities can help you shape your personal branding rightly, as you mentioned. How do they do that? You gain more confidence. So, in order to craft your personal brand, you should know about yourself.
Correct.
A lot of times, we do not introspect ourselves so much.
Yeah.
In a community, when you're around people who have the same objective and who want to help each other grow, so you might fail to see some of your strengths, but somebody else might see that, and you can work on that and include that in your personal branding. So you see your strengths, and we have constructive criticism in community, right?
Correct.
So you understand your weaknesses better, you have the opportunity to work on them, and a community is a safe space. It's like a gym. It's a safe space where you can come, work out, build your muscle, which is your networking abilities, your skills. Because networking is a skill, it's not just a circumstance in today's era.
Absolutely.
Because you have all the opportunities you want. It's democratized access to networking. So it helps you build on your strengths, it helps you work on your weaknesses, and it helps you even get self-awareness. When we think of communities, we might think of just the public.
Correct.
But you're shining in public, but you're taking that back home.
Yeah.
It builds on your confidence, you're working on it. So it also helps you think critically in your private time as well.
Okay. Got it.
So that is going to have an impact on the personal brand that you build. And once you start speaking about yourself, about your experiences, you would actually understand how much people want to hear.
Yeah.
We might not have found the right listeners.
Yes.
The community can be your right listener.
Yeah. Exactly.
And everyone coming there has a common objective, like we discussed.
Correct.
So your branding message is reaching the right audience.
Absolutely.
simply crafting a personal brand and sitting at home doesn't help.
Doesn't
right?
help. Yeah.
Now it reaches the right people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you also understand that personal branding is not a show off. A lot of us are shy about speaking about ourselves or promoting ourselves because we think it's show off.
Show off. Yeah. Yeah.
But it is actually what I believe is personal. You have your personal brand, and you're showing what value can you generate. How can you do it consistently over a period of time? So
I
you have an
understand.
audience for that. Sometimes your community is your first set of audience. They might be your first set of believers also.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think when you have someone to share with what you think, and as we grow, right, we might have a lot of questions, and sharing all these in the community actually do help, right? It helps students to get some tips of how they can enhance their career sets because they're gonna meet quite a lot of people from a diverse background. Second, professionals like entrepreneurs or business owners, they'll also get to meet like the young age, right, and how they are thinking and how can they help them to grow, and as well as how can they grow their own business by employing them as their employees, right? So I think community always, not just from a personal branding, but it's very important from shaping the future, right?
Yes.
For yourself as well as for the society that we are living in.
Yes.
It helps us to become a responsible person. I think
Uh, yeah.
very well articulated. Yeah, you was trying to
Yeah,
say.
I just wanted to add that to meet a CEO, you might need quite some years of experience.
Absolutely.
But in a community, like you already mentioned, you have entrepreneurs, CEOs, everybody in the same room.
Yeah,
So you don't need to waste your time waiting to gather years of experience.
experience. Correct.
The level is just brought to the same platform in a community.
Community space. Amazing. Let's talk about like opportunities, like how opportunities can help, people or young students. The first question that I have is, what, like, see, I myself, I'm an introvert. I call myself an introvert, or I can say a selective introvert or something because I'm like trying to change to become an extrovert. You yourself said that in your introduction you were very shy back then. So how do you think that introverts or quieter individuals can build meaningful networks without changing who they are? Because as an introvert, I don't want to change myself, right? Like, but how at the same time I can improve, how I can improve my networking, how I can improve my communication. Because sometimes going and meeting people in a larger forum actually do create a lot of kind of like tension or nervousness in my mind. So, how do you think that I should look into it, right? Is the one question that I have. And as a follow up question, I also would like to ask is, how do you think that these communities will help young professionals to unlock their career opportunities? Because when you are an introvert or when you are a quieter individual, it becomes very difficult for you to go and speak in front of an interviewer itself. I have got feedbacks from interviewers or recruiters saying that Prashant, kids don't speak. If I ask a question like "Tell us about yourself," they just finish it off like in one sentence. That's it. I'm from here. I'm this and that. That's it. They don't speak. We don't get to know about them. So how do we evaluate them, right? And the moment you don't speak and you don't present yourself well, I think it's going to be very difficult for you to get a job or to get a job of your dream, right? So when it comes to introverts and quieter individuals, it is a challenge, right, to resonate and to kind of explain about them to someone, right? So how do you think that a community can help them, and as well as how do you think that introverts or quieter individuals can build meaningful networks without changing who they are?
Like you mentioned, you're an introvert and you don't want to lose yourself in
Yeah.
a transformation to an
Yeah.
extrovert. So I think one misconception that we might have is being a part of the community. We might adopt a group thinking attitude,
Yeah.
and we might change who we are at our core.
Correct. Correct.
So this is a fear that we have. But the beauty of community is that you are accepted there for who you are.
Mm.
Because everybody who comes to form the community,
Yes.
like I mentioned, they have the same goal, they have the same purpose, and they want to help everybody in the process. So nobody comes there to judge. There's no sympathy, there's only empathy there.
Empathy.
So there is no need for the introverts or quieter individuals to feel like they have to become somebody else, transform themselves into another individual in order to be accepted. No, you're accepted there just for who you are. And the power of introverts and quiet individuals is that they have a deeper level of thought, they observe more, and all this would be appreciated well in a community where people come with the objective of self growth. You cannot be a shallow individual, or you cannot have a shallow thought process and speak in a community or work for a community. You need to be an above average individual, right?
Individual.
And most often introverts, if they are able to think deeply and when they observe deeply, they are above average.
Absolutely.
They're not looking for large circles, but they want that depth, they want to meet the right people, the depth of the relationships. That's what they're looking for, and that's exactly why communities are the best for them.
Wow. I mean, that's very well articulated, and I think hearing this, I feel that definitely from Kerala, I've seen quite a lot of introverts. Right, we do have a see. It's not like I'm not doing a comparison or any sort, but it's just that see, I do. It's very well articulated, Nirmala. Thank you so much for that. See, I always like when I work when I was working as well. I've seen that in my company itself, we have like people from quite a large sector of society. We have people who are from the northern part of India. We have people who are from the southern part of India. I've always seen that the southern part of India always take the the quieter place. Right? They don't want to have quite enhancing experience or enriching experience or have like an energetic experience with everyone. They just want to sit, relax, and things like that. But the northern people are more flamboyant, or they are more interested into showcasing who they are, and they are like quite a lot of extroverted nature they do have. So I feel that it's we cannot say that this is good and this is bad, but at the same time, it is important, right? Like to enjoy and to have fun and to break out of the shell, right? You cannot say that, okay, you know what, I'll be an extrovert just with the people who I am having comfortable with. I have to be the same way when I go out, right? So there's like some selectivism that sometimes people take into adoption, right? Like I'm very comfortable with my group, so let me have fun with my group. But when I'm going and joining in that company, I don't speak with anyone. Let me keep quiet. But I think community can actually break that ice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, introverts might have a difficult time forming connections.
Correct.
So, what a community does for them is they might come the first day, they might not be very confident about speaking, they might just be active listeners.
Yeah.
Like, that is the power of introverts, right? They're very good at listening. So, after that, the next session, maybe they might continue listening, but at least from the third session, they would start talking in the community, they would
Correct.
start engaging, they might even engage digitally at least. And when they start receiving applauses, when people congratulate them on their achievements or appreciate their efforts, then they slowly start gaining confidence and they start speaking more within the community.
Yeah.
And once it reaches a certain level of confidence, even outside opportunities, and when they speak to people outside their selective network, then also they start exhibiting more of extroversion characteristics.
Yeah, I
So
understand. And I think when we talk about this community of VTalks, like we're not here to target like students alone. We're not here to target like business professionals. We're not here to target like the elite class, right? We are here to like we are opening it for everyone. We want like all kinds of people to join our community and have an interaction with, right? We are open to have homemakers because they also have quite a lot to contribute. Like I'm very well fascinated to know how they manage their household. I think that's one of the biggest skill set that is required these days, because me working and my wife was also working, it is difficult to manage a household. But homemakers or even my mother, like for example, she used to work as well as she used to come back home and cook, right? So and now they are retired. We would like to know about them, like how they do it and how they kind of engage these conversations. So all these conversation with, even though we seem it's lighter, actually can create a lot of career related opportunities for many young professionals, right, joining these communities. And it's all about like networking and growing your business, right? And business might be your money, or it can be a career for them, or it can be a wealth for someone else, right? Yeah. So I think I am like done with all the questions that I wanted to ask. Let's have like a conclusion one question that I have for you, which is like, if you want to give one piece of advice, just one advice to someone who feels unseen or unsure where they belong, how can they find or build a community that truly unlocks their potential?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I think we'll sum up
Yeah,
about a community and what steps somebody can take to be seen or to be heard.
correct.
So, the first step I would say is put yourself out there. At least showcase one piece of your talent. It could be one article, it could be one blog post, it could be one conversation with a leader, or one LinkedIn post, one comment, anything. But at least one piece of your work, put it out there for the world to see.
Yeah,
Because you don't create a community just by joining a group.
correct.
The community starts the moment you contribute something towards it. You
Yeah.
start showcasing who you are. So the first step I would recommend somebody is show your piece of work. Even if it is a small piece of work, show it. Yeah, the second step would be, instead of being in 100 communities at once, just focus on one community, join that community, be consistent there, and build your relationship there. So once you start attending some sessions continuously, you gain more confidence, and this confidence builds a kind of comfort. The environment becomes familiar, you are more comfortable there, and that leads to building stronger connections. So instead of being a part of multiple communities at once, focus on being a part of one single
One single
community
community.
and be consistent there. And in case you're not able to find any such community, the third step would be you create one of your own.
Yeah,
That would be the best option, because most communities are created based on the belief that there is someone out there like you.
got it. Got it.
And
Got
if you're
it.
not able to find a community as per your liking, as per a common goal that you have, somebody else is also facing this problem.
Yeah.
So you either build a community that you have not yet found, or you strengthen your connections in the particular community that you already chose in step 2. You go out with people outside the community time as well. Meet them in workshops and conferences, or take them for a pitch. Build a communication outside the community as well.
Got it. I think one of the steps that you have mentioned is really interesting, and I feel that our viewers would have got some idea about it. I think I really, thank you so much for being part of this podcast, and I truly had a wonderful time having a conversation with you. And I'm pretty much sure that I will have to pick your brains on certain other aspects as well with the next time when we see you.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I as well had a great time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.